Well, today we're going to put this on. I think I finally got enough stuff with all the fittings I need and a few little pieces of pipe. It's a fairly simple system underneath the car. Just one line out of the brake booster that splits up on the front cross member, so I only have to break it in one place. Conveniently, there's actually already a union in the line. It's all flared, so this should go in fairly easy. I'm going to try not to cut any lines that exist, because that'll make it a lot easier. I've got a double flaring kit, but it's kind of tweaky and a pain in the butt, and it's old and junky. But if I need to, I can double flare it. You always want your brake lines to be the double flare type fitting. Otherwise, they don't seal well and can't handle the pressure you're going to put on them, and that would be bad. So, still waiting for my stinking air cleaner from FedEx, although we were waiting for one of my wife's packages from FedEx, and this is the box it showed up in yesterday. That is the condition the box got here in. Conveniently, her stuff could accept that, but if my air cleaner box comes in looking like this, I have a feeling that my 4-inch air cleaner is going to be a 3-inch or a 2-inch, and I won't be too happy about it, assuming they ever find it and get it here. So that's nice. Anyway, my goal today is to get these brakes done, get this thing on the ground, and drive it maybe. She's been sitting on the lift, or on the jack stands for a couple of weeks now, and I want to get her on the ground and reset the speedo so it works with these gears, and then start putting some miles on it so it can start learning. I'll figure something out for an air cleaner, or I don't know, we'll come up with something. Maybe I'll build a 2-inch spacer or something and just put the old one on it until my new one ever shows up. But that's the goal for today. We're going to see. I want to drive it, and the weather has finally turned. It has gotten dry for here. The dew point's down in the 50s and 60s versus the 80s, so it is really pleasant out. And just got finished watching the live streams of the Rocky Mountain Race Week 2.0. Again, that's my main goal next year, is to do that one. Hey, if it comes together and looks good, maybe we'll do the one in Colorado. Who knows? But yeah, so that's where we're at. Alright, so this is one of the nice things about putting your hands all over the car and making changes and stuff like that, is you learn how to get this stuff. This is the access panel to the master cylinder. Got 3 screws. The 4th one doesn't feel like it was ever put in. But they split the carpet here right in front of the seat, so that's kind of nice. You don't have to pull the whole thing down. You don't have to take the whole front end apart to get to it. It's been glued a bit, but that's been peeled up at one point. Got the frame mounts. Another one up there with the body mounts to the frame. So I'm going to go get me a little screwdriver, pop that off, see what I can see. There it is. I'm going to see if I can get those straps popped off. Looks like they've been popped off at one point, because I've certainly never done it. Doesn't give you much room. Looks like you'll have to get to the cap from underneath, maybe. I don't think it's going to come up through. It might if you twist it. We'll have to find out. But I'm going to go get me a screwdriver, see if I can get those straps off. There's one. And there's 2. Okay, so you can. And yeah, it doesn't look like she comes off from the top. So I'm gonna go pull that from the bottom, then we'll take a look at what's in it. Yes, it kind of does have to come out from the top because the little rubber things have sucked out and wouldn't fit. There it is. Really doesn't look too bad. A little bit of crud, a little bit of rust, but a little cloudy. I'll say the fluid is extremely clean. Not bad. So, not bad at all. I'm going to wipe that up a little bit and just pop the cap back on just to keep carpet fuzz out of it. Really doesn't look terrible, all things considered, for an iron master cylinder. So I may just bleed the brakes after I'm done, rather than flushing the whole system, because that's really not bad. Not bad at all. So, let me get that cap back on there. Alright. So, there she is. And there are the connections. Didn't do too bad. Had a little bit of a leak at this union, but I cracked it and cranked it down again, and it seems to be holding now. One new line from up here to the inlet side, and a little line from the outlet to the old one. And I think we're back in business now. I just got to figure out how to run the wires. So that ought to be entertaining. I think now it's time to take the center console apart so that I can get into the shifter, because the wires are going to go over to there anyway. And that's what we need to do next. Got the clips back on it, so added a little bit of fluid, didn't need too much, didn't really spill any. We'll bleed the brakes later once we get her back in the ground. And but really, I think I let the lines self-bleed before I hooked them all up, so I don't think there's much air, if any, in the system anyway. So I think we're going to be in good shape. And now we got to pull that cover off, see what we got under there that we can get some wires through. Well, we got her on the ground. Got my cobbled together license plate, since I don't have a permanent place to mount it yet. A couple of clamps and zip ties. Remove the filler neck because I don't want it hitting the tire. The line lock clicks and the light comes on. I use the old choke cable location for the light. So I think we're about ready to take this thing for a rip, or at least a little ride, see how she does. Maybe put a little more gas in it, depending on how it's doing. God, it's filthy. But try to do the speedometer calibration procedure, which is a bunch of push-buttony things, and we're going to see what happens. But yeah, I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to film, because I'm going to have my hands full, I think, with all the other crap, but we might get a little bit. We'll see. Alright, she's running. It's scary now. There is no way to keep the back tires on the ground. I don't care what you do, they're going to spin. Whew. It is, it's scary. This thing is scary. I am rather pleased with it so far. No leaks, fans running, everything looks to be pretty good. It's charging. Temperature's staying nice. Put a strap on that engine. I'm going to break that exhaust if I don't. I got to do that. Maybe we'll do that next. Yep, license plate's hanging on, so that's good. Alright, so we got to go get some fuel. And there we go. I am not going to be filming while driving this thing, because it is an animal. So, see you in a bit. Well, we made it home. Put about 25 miles on it. I think the most I got to was about 50% throttle according to the transmission because now it just thinks you're wide open all the time, so it won't shift until 4,000 RPM no matter what. So that's not terribly useful. Running boards aren't too hot, but they probably are going to need some insulation under them. Everything else seems to be doing good. The belts slip, but man, what are you going to do? Water temperature got up a little bit. Not too bad. It was running 168 when we were driving. Got real slow, started creeping a little bit, but it's in the 180s now, which isn't too bad. So, not bad. Fuel gauge indicates, but it's not working right. The voltage isn't correct. I filled it most of the way up and it only got to like 43%. So we'll have to figure that out. That's not a biggie, at least it does work. Not bad. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do here. I gotta put a strap on this engine to hold it down. And I gotta insulate underneath the running board. So but at least now I can put it into the garage on its own power. So there we go. That's probably going to be it for today. Like I said, I'll have to come up with a suction cup to get any driving video. You need two hands for this thing now, anyway. So hope you're all having a good day. Talk to you later. Take care.